small piece, so they end up paying more for less. At least what Kiyosaki wrote in his book. 10. Think big. 11. Learn from history. 12. Action beats inaction. So Kiyosaki's poor dad says go to school, get a career with great benefits, or be self-employed and to like being a gig worker, freelancer, or an independent contractor, which is active income or earned income. Trade time and energy for money. But the rich and wealthy, they have their money working for them, which is through portfolio income or passive income. Portfolio income is through paper assets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, REITs, forex, cryptocurrency. Passive income is through real estate, normally, or direct investments into commodities or your business profits. The key to becoming wealthy is to convert your earned active income into portfolio income and or passive income as quickly as you can. Active earned income is taxed the most, while portfolio and passive income is not as taxed as much. The more you actively work for income, the more the IRS will take from your paycheck. And to sum up my review, I really enjoy Kiyosaki's book, which is once again uh, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The biggest points that stood out to me in this book was always keep learning about money. Always keep learning about money, about making it, keeping it, and multiplying it through legal and lawful means. Because you don't want to uh, do it through criminal ways because for obvious reasons, like criminals, bad, like that. Two, I would say protect yourself from financial loss through insurance and have systems in place to protect you from lawsuits because people want your money. So, of course, you know, um, hire lawyers to help protect yourself, have adequate insurance, life insurance, renters insurance, homeowners insurance, all forms of insurance in order to protect your wealth so you don't keep spending a whole lot of money in order to rebound from your financial loss. Three, assets always cash flow to your pocket and or increase in value over time. You must relentlessly and aggressively buy and or create assets to build wealth and to be rich. Use your earned income to buy and or create an asset and use that asset to fund your bills and then keep building your assets for financial independence. Stocks, bonds, REITs, mutual funds, forex, cryptocurrency, residential rental properties, your business, your company, direct investments into commodities, and royalty payments are examples of assets that can actually make you rich over time. Number four, liabilities always channel the cash flow away from your pocket and or decrease in value over time. You can have them, but don't confuse them as cash flowing, appreciating assets. A house that you a house that is your residence is a liability because you pay a mortgage. Also, your home is not always guaranteed to go up in value and doesn't always does so. Even after you pay off your mortgage, you still have maintenance, security system like ADC or Brinks, etc. So people won't break into your house and steal your stuff while you're gone. You also have to pay for repairs and insurance, and worst of all, a property tax. So stop paying your property taxes and see what happens. You're going to get foreclosure, and then you're going to lose what you thought was the biggest asset to the government or to the bank. But you can convert it to a residential rental property to accumulate rental income to your pocket by renting it to a tenant. A car is also a liability. You pay for your auto loan, which we also call your car note. Even after that, you still pay for your registration, gas, maintenance, insurance. And the cash value of your car goes down over the years. But there are rental car companies, usually for out of state travelers or for those who damage their vehicles, then they need something to temporarily get them by until their vehicle gets fixed. Advantage, Alamo, Avis, um, Budget, Dollar, Enterprise, Hertz, National Payless, Sixth, and Thrifty. Those cars are assets to those companies because cash flows to them when people rent them out. But the car that you drive and own is a liability. Even I pay for gas. I pay for maintenance, oil change, my tires, my brakes, cleaning, car wash, vacuuming, registration, insurance, and my driver license renewals, and etc. Also, active income is the money that you trade your time and energy for. It is the most taxed income. Portfolio income is income from financial markets, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, REITs, forex, and cryptocurrency. Passive income is usually income from your business profits, direct investments into commodities, and real estate payments. Both portfolio and passive income are taxed way less than active income from being an employee or self-employed, like an independent contractor, gig worker, or a freelancer. And lastly, choose your mentors, teachers very wisely, and try to emulate them. In my opinion, Robert T. Kiyosaki is a good mentor. Again, Robert T. Kiyosaki, he's the author of this book. He's this guy. Um, for He's a good mentor for the overall balanced approach towards money. Warren Edward Buffett, he's a legendary investor, CEO, chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, and even John Clifton Jack Bogle, the founder of the Vanguard Group and the creator of the Index Fund back in 1975. Um, I adore those two for general investing, but Robert T. Kiyosaki for the overall balanced approach towards money, business, and investing. Those three are my go-to mentors for investing so far. Of course, as time goes by, I'm probably going to come across people who I think, well, in my opinion, are good mentors and teachers for myself in order to uh, grow my wealth like that. And for my final thoughts about this book and going forward with my finances. I didn't want to. I knew that I didn't want to be an employee for long um, anymore. Actually, well, for a very long time, long before I even read this book and heard of Robert Kiyosaki. Uh, Once I actually read this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and of course follow many social media accounts about entrepreneurship, investing, millionaire mindset, passive income, portfolio income, that most definitely did solidify the idea that I most definitely do not want to be an employee anymore until retirement age. So it did. This is actually what I actually inadvertently signed up for was, which is called the 40-40-40 plan, but I call it the 40 to the fourth power plan. So you work 40 hours a week, tax at 40% of your personal income each paycheck for the next 40 years of your life, and you retire on 40% of your income, hoping that you outpace inflation. Of course, even though that I'm currently in the Navy, been in for almost 7 years, I do have some benefits, but at the end of the day, I'm still an employee. I still work for money. If I don't show up, I'm in the what we call an unauthorized absence, which is the UA, and my pay will get cut off. And then once I do turn myself in, or if I do get arrested, and then they find out that I've actually deserted or been UA, then legal action will go against me for being UA, and that leads to an administrative separation with an other than honorable. Yeah, I don't want to confuse you with an other than honorable discharge, which is not a good discharge, which can actually ruin my reputation. And of course, should I do plan on seeking employment, then if they do see that, it's not good, at least from what I've heard. I also have certain tax disadvantages, again, with the 1943 Tax Act. But then again, certain allowances like housing and food and dislocation allowance that helps me move. Should I go from station to station? Those aren't taxed, but at the end of the day, my basic pay is taxed as a minimum. I have no control of my hours or days. Of course, in the military, we're 24/7. Though, when I'm not underway, I do have like some hours, like like maybe 8 hours minimum. But then again, if I do have a whole lot of work, then I might stay extra. And also, I might have watch standing, which is I'm still at work, usually for like security reasons or to make sure that because we still have to operate on that 24/7, and then I stand a watch in order to you know take turns keeping my unit and the Navy itself running 24/7. So of course I don't have control of that. Like I can't write the watch bill because I'll probably have like a watch bill posted and it'll say like, okay, at this hour it's me, at the next hour it's somebody else, and then maybe next week I'm not on that watch bill where they say like, okay, it's your turn, but I don't write that unless I'm actually the coordinator myself. But the odds of me being a coordinator is very slim, especially for the long term, because it's actually collateral duty and you're supposed to just share it. Of course, I have a salary cap. Of course, in the military, we always say, we're underpaid, but it's only at the discretion of the government. And again, increase of basic pay. If I do get promoted by taking a test and then doing really, really, really good, I still get taxed more. I also have a set pay schedule, the 1st and 15th. Can control my workflow and workload, which is really important to me. I'll have like a whole lot of work, and then I can't really say no. And if I say no, then I'll be disciplined, and then it's too much stress for myself, and of course my leadership. So Kiyosaki mentioned to mind your business. Keep your employment status while at the same time building and buying assets to pay for your remaining liabilities, and then use that to fund your lifestyle to be financially independent. And then you don't have to actually work for money, and then you can actually take advantage of those tax benefits. Because me, I personally don't like paying taxes. Of course, I want to probably have people saying, the roads, like that, like the roads, but you know, and plus many of the tax money goes to waste anyway. Like the military, they said like the F-35, it was a giant waste, and then now they're saying like the aircraft carrier, the Gerald Ford class aircraft carriers, it's a problem. Then you have like the Zumwalt, yeah, it's all like in the news, and then like that, and plus, so most of it goes to waste, or just good waste. So as of this date of April 9th, most of my assets are actually around my thrift savings plan, which is the U.S. government employee version of the 401k plan. Second is doing my Runnerstein crowd-funded real estate investment. Currently I own 68 pieces of real estate through e-REITs, very illiquid, and then I have my high yield savings account that I'm trying to build up, and my certificate deposit. Once I actually have a business, I would then pour the remaining profits into starting another business, and then put some more profits into some more investments, and then jump to real estate, and then continue on with real estate through buying single family homes for rental investment reasons, and then maybe an apartment complex for multiple, and also invest directly into commodities, because Robert Kiyosaki said if you invest in like an oil field, like crude oil fields, you can actually get tax benefits, which I think I deserve, because serve the country, and my bias, serve the country. I think I actually do deserve some more tax advantages. Of course, we do have like serving in different combat locations like Bahrain. If I do go to Bahrain, then I do get that, but chances of me going to Bahrain in my career, not a whole lot. But I actually did many months ago, maybe up to a year ago, when I was on deployment like that. But the odds of me going back to Bahrain, kind of slim. But unless I actually get orders there, but then again, getting the orders, kind of slim. So I just might as well just put into my hands and then invest in an oil field and get those tax benefits. So that's actually my plan going forward. So again, this is Dawson's Discussions, and I'm your host, Nathan L. Dawson Jr., and this video was my personal review on Robert T. Kiyosaki's book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, What the Rich Teach Their Kids About Money that the Poor Do Not. Okay? Take care, have a nice day, and I will see you in another video. Take care, and have a nice day.